Notification. There we go. Perfect. Okay, boom. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this evening. We have a magnificent guest with us tonight, one that's going to give us some amazing information as well as inspiration, and that is none other than our brother, Coach Asad Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum salam, sir.
Yes, sir. And on behalf of myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast, we want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come have a conversation with us tonight.
Yes, sir. It's truly an honor. Truly an honor.
Yes, sir. So the first question that we have for you, sir, is how did you get into coaching?
Um, Growing up playing football, I've always wanted to be around football, and of course, all little boys have the inspiration of playing in the NFL. And of course, I had those same dreams of being a pro athlete. And as you get older and older, you realize maybe I don't see that the chances are so slim to get to the NFL that maybe you don't fit that criteria of making it. And I'd say probably around freshman year of high school, I realized what I really wanted to do in my life. I couldn't see myself working a 9 to 5 job or, working in corporate America or anything like that.
Okay.
I saw myself being a football coach.
Mm.
My grandfather was a football coach. He was a high school football coach. And, just kind of growing up and hearing his stories, it just was inspiring me to, eventually want to be a coach. And so I'd say about 2020, um, COVID happened. I was playing at the time at Johnson C. Smith University, and they shut the season down. So everybody had to go home and, just kind of figuring everything out. And I got an opportunity at my old high school back at home at Bestman Academy. We had got a new coach. My coach when he was out, when I was at the school, he had went and got another job, and his brother, which was my offensive line coach, took the head coaching job. And so, I knew I wanted to coach, but I've never done it. So I didn't, I just didn't, I just wanted to get my feet wet within it. And, I asked him, I said, hey, can I come out for spring training? So I go out for spring training. I enjoyed it. I knew I was going to love it, but, you don't really know until you do it. So
Yes, sir.
once
Yes,
I
sir.
finally did it, I got into it and I fell in love instantly. And I started coaching. I coached my first season at Bessemer Academy. I coached the offensive line that whole season. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Praise be to Allah.
Yes, sir.
And, as the season went on, the season was over. And, I knew truly I didn't see myself being a high school coach. I saw myself in the college ranks.
Mm.
And my coach, my freshman year in college, Coach Greg Ruffin, he took a job as the running backs coach at Alabama State. So he took the job, and I was just getting into the groove of coaching. I knew I wanted to coach college, and so I hit him up, and he said, "Sure, let's do it." And he asked me, you want to come coach with me?" I said, "Of course." And just knowing, like he kind of saw my vision. He saw someone that was young, trying to, and as a player, he saw me in both lenses.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
he took me in, and I learned everything, and I'm learning now. It's a process of learning. I'm just coming back from the office, just doing work, and this is going into my second. This is my second season. We're almost done, yes, sir, at Alabama State. Right now, we're on a 4-game winning streak. So,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yes,
yes,
sir.
sir. Praise be to Allah. So, everything's moving in the right direction.
Wonderful. Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Coach Asad. And we are supporting you and rooting for you.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And Brother Nelson Ramos says, Assalamu alaikum, beloved family. My sister Miriam says, Assalamu alaikum, family. Alaikum salam. Brother Steven says, Assalamu alaikum, salute my guys, Coach Nelson and his nephew, Mikey Victor. Cornerbacks are down there. Beautiful. Excellent. And we can't wait to put this on YouTube. What advice would you give to other young men who want to go into coaching?
The advice I would give them. When you come in, get ready to work. Don't say no to a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff you're not gonna feel like doing. So you're gonna be the first one there, you're gonna be the last one to leave. You're gonna be doing the grunt of the work, and you're not gonna get any glory. And it's fine. It's the process. It's something that every coach has gone through. It's gonna be you gotta come pick you gotta pick somebody up, you gotta drive to Atlanta in the middle of the night to go pick up a kid, and you gotta go to the airport to do this, and you gotta go pick up breakfast, you gotta do breakfast checks, is just and appreciate it. When you get into it, don't take it for granted. You're gonna learn something in everything that you do, no matter if it's good to you or bad to you. Just go into the game, go into the coaching world with open ears, and try to get to know as many people as possible. That's one thing I
Mm-hmm.
can learn. Like one thing about college coaching, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And if you know people that can get you through doors and can move you through those doors, know them and get to know them, and not just on the basis of I just need you to get me a job. You need to actually befriend these people. You know what I mean? Because you never know where they're going to lead you to. You know, and I can honestly say that. I went from playing for Coach Ruffin to 3 or 4 years later, I'm working with them. You know what I mean? And we have a even closer relationship now. So you never know. You never know who you meet, and don't take anything you do for granted.
Excellent. Yes, sir. Coach Asad Muhammad giving us some amazing jewels and gems tonight. I wanted to ask you about me and my siblings. We are big fans of the television series Friday Night Lights, and of course,
Mm-hmm.
remember the Titans, different movies, Any Given Sunday, things like that. Are there any movies or television shows that are realistic based off of your coaching experience? Like,
Um, I would say probably one of I don't even think it was a TV. I think it was like an interview.
mm,
It was a couple of years ago. I think it was last year, and I think it was for the Big Ten, like the Big Ten football conference. There was like their media day, and
okay.
they asked the coaches like, "How were you in your GA days when there was grad assistant days?" And they were all telling all these stories, and it's like, man, I'm in year one, and I've been through all their stories.
Mm,
And that was probably one that relates the most. Of course, with TV, there's a lot of creative control, so they try to make it a little bit more unrealistic. So as a coach, it does frustrate me with a lot of TV shows, but at the same time, man, like that one probably for sure hit the most. Yeah, it was just like, man, I did all that, picking up, going to go pick up lunch for coaches, and all that stuff. I've done it all.
yes, sir. Okay. And Dr. Henry M. Carter says AS, like with all the U's. He said he's an ASU graduate. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct, Dr. Carter. Yes, sir. Now with recruitment, I
Mhm.
was a star running back, in my mind at least, from Naperville
Uh,
North out of Illinois, and I never got recruited from Notre Dame and University of Miami, the two colleges that I wanted to go. What
mhm,
advice would you give to athletes who are highly recruited and
mhm.
are those who didn't get highly recruited?
Okay, for highly recruited guys, don't let the glitz and glamour fool you.
Mm,
One thing when I was getting recruited and stuff, I was at a recruiting visit at Mississippi State, and Dan Mullen was the head coach at the time, and he said something that was very profound. He said, "If they allow to get you, they allow when you get here."
mm,
So a
mm.
lot of times, don't get caught up in the window dressing. Actually, do research on these schools. What do they produce? Do they fit your scheme? Like how you play? Like
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
look at the people before you. Look at the people there. Look at the people, and also look at who else they recruited. A lot of times, these kids they'll just want to go to these big Power Five schools, Alabama, and it's like, dude, they've signed 5, 6 running backs. Like,
Mm.
and they've signed 5, 6. So here comes 5 more on top of the ones that's already on campus that have been in a Division 1 weight room, and they're growing men now. And now you think here comes you, little freshman. You think you finna come in here and take all their jobs? No, that's not gonna happen. And then,
Okay. Okay.
that's not the case for all. Some of all the freshmen that come in and play immediately, and they make impact, make impact. For those kids that aren't getting recruited, um, I would say this: um, make a highlight tape, DM, go on Twitter, because that's the most. If you want to get direct contact with a coach, that's the best way to do it. Twitter,
Mm.
X, whatever you want to call it. Get on Twitter, DM those coaches, DM as many as you can, um, and just and promote yourself. You know what I mean? And I would say, make yourself recruitable. Like make like because you got to think, man. we're looking on our level, we're looking at probably 200 to 300 prospects a week.
Mm, mm,
So what is it about you that makes me want to keep watching? What is it about you that makes me want to keep talking to? That's the biggest thing. So if you're just like everybody else, if your highlights are just like everyone else, because we get the same messages every day. You know what I mean? That height, weight, how you doing, coach? My name is such and such and such and such and such and such. And then they go through the whole spiel, and it's like, dude, I don't want to look at this no more. And it's like, let me just click the tape. You got 20, like most of the time, you got like 25 seconds to get it right. If you
mm,
don't get it within those 25 seconds, you're gone because we got to move on to the next guy that could potentially come and help us or could potentially come and hurt us.
mm.
So the best thing is to stay persistent. And if you think that on one thing, if you're getting recruited by schools and you think that you're better than the schools you're getting recruited by, and you're not getting recruited by those schools that you think you're as good as, it might be a reason. You know what I mean? Like they're like legit, like you could be you think you're an FBS guy, but you only get recruited by SWAC schools.
Mm,
Then you
mm,
might need to look into why. You know
mm.
what I mean? I might be a SWAC football player, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yes, sir.
Producing talent just like everyone else is producing talent. You know what I mean? People are not going to the NFL just like our people are going to the NFL.
Yes, sir.
It's
Yes,
the
sir. Yes,
same
sir.
thing. You know what I mean? So those are those little gems I would say to give those kids that are getting recruited.
Excellent. Okay. Yes, sir. Coach Asad Muhammad, thank you for having taking time out of your busy schedule to come have a conversation with us on the People's Podcast. Sarah Hassan says, Assalamu alaikum salam. And thank you, everyone who's watching. We can't wait to upload this to YouTube. My next question for you is, what type of coach are you? You have some coaches that are like a player coach. You have some serious military by the book. Or you friend like like what type of coaches? What is your coaching staff?
I think for me, and I'm still kind of developing it, but I think for me, I'm more of a players coach,
Okay.
but I am strict because you have to be strict. You know what I mean? Because a lot of kids that you're recruiting, unfortunately, you're the only like male figure in their life, so you have to be strict. You can't be loose. One thing that our head coach, Coach Aiden Robinson, is talking about this year, his big word is accountability, holding kids accountable, making sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do when they're supposed to do it. And that has to, and with accountability, you don't have to be aggressive, you don't have to be mean when you're being holding someone accountable, but at the same time you have to be stern and you can't bend, you can't bend or break trying to hold someone accountable, especially a student athlete, because it could potentially change their lives.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like how you treat them. You know what I mean? And there's kids on our team that from the outside you could think, oh man, I wouldn't touch him. But for me, I can go up to him because I built a relationship with them where I could go and talk to them, and they understand what I'm saying. And I understand what they're saying. You know what I mean? So
Yes, sir.
to me, I'm a combination of both, but to me, I'm more so a player's coach because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, you can have all the X's and O's you want, but if you ain't got no Jim and Joe's, it doesn't matter. So you always have to be a player's coach.
Beautiful. Go ahead. Yes, sir, Coach Asad. And Jocelyn Bailey says ASA family, walaikum salam. My next question for you is the NIL deals.
Mm.
How has that changed the landscape of college football, but primarily from what you've seen with your institution?
Um, the NIL era, which is what we're in now, is
Yes,
huge.
sir.
For multiple reasons. One, it's almost like justified the cheating that people talk about. They're paying players to do this, they're paying players to come here. So now all they gotta do is just bundle all up and put it in an NIL deal. Boom, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So now there's a lot of money available for these young athletes. And I think that they deserve it. But at the same time, you have to be able to teach these young kids. Because, NFL, these guys are 19, these guys are 21, 22, 23. So they're older. You know what I mean? So they're getting these big contracts, but they're older. They might not be as mature, but they're not the same from when they were 18.
Yes,
So
sir.
now
Yes,
if you're
sir.
giving that same money that you were giving to them at 23 and 24, you're giving it to them at 18 now. So then that's what comes with lack of self discipline comes in. When you're 18, they're giving you $10,000, and it's like, well, I'm finna ball out because you're on full scholarship. You know what I mean? You're on full scholarship. You're getting a meal plan. You get nothing, you getting clothes galore, so you don't have to buy a bunch of clothes. You know what I mean? Like, so now there's just money in your pocket. So now you just spending, spending, spending. And to me, I think one of the biggest downsides of it, and it ties in with the new era of football, also with the NIL, is the transfer portal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
A lot of kids are simply entering the transfer portal, not even for football, but they just know they could get paid somewhere. You know what I mean? Like they saying, "Oh, they giving me a full scholarship right here," but at this school, they giving me a full scholarship plus $5,000-6,000 a month.
Mm,
You
mm.
know what I mean? So as a kid, and you're 18, 19, how would you not? Why would you not turn that down? Knowing you walking, not knowing that you're walking into a trap where it's like there's a whole bunch of kids out here. Now I'm not playing, but I'm getting paid. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yes, sir.
But I
Yes, sir.
definitely believe that these student athletes deserve compensation for sure. They do a lot of hard work, and and some of them go to sleep hungry,
Mm,
and
mm.
they deserve to be compensated. Some kids are marketable kids. You know what I mean? Just like if you look at on the business lens, like these college kids are marketable. You know
Yes,
what
sir.
I mean?
Yes, sir.
Like, like somebody like Shador Sanders and Travis, like they're marketable. Like they're
Yes, sir.
very marketable athletes. So I think it has its ups and downs, of course, and it's the beginning stages. So of course the NCAA is going to make some rules and they're going to change some rules and this and that all later on down the line. But I think like everything has its ups and downs.
Phenomenal. Okay, great. Coach Asad, this is an honor and we thank you very much. I wanted to ask you about parents. How
Mhm.
how do you go how do you explain to the parents uh the reason you're holding their son accountable and this and that? Like how is the relationship? How important is the relationship to have not only with the student athlete but the parents as well?
Well, with me, one of the reasons why I chose to go into the college ranks is because you don't have to deal with parents as much.
Mm, mm.
Like, you might have a phone call in there, like maybe once a week, potentially, that's just, and to us as college coaches, that's like hovering. You know what I mean? They're like, why do they keep calling me every week? But like, for the most part, you don't really deal with parents. And once you sit down and explain to a child, I want your child to get a degree. You know what I mean? I want your child to max out his potential, then they have to be on board with that. If they want to see their child succeed just like I do at the end of the day. Like it's all about if we can both come into a common goal that we want this child to succeed, then you know, as long as I'm not being disrespectful, which I try my best not to, then they're 100% on board. You don't really have to deal with parents.
Mm. Okay, great. Yes, sir. Well, we have a few more questions for you all. And thank you all for the comments and everyone showing love to Coach Asad Muhammad tonight. We have a quick 60-second commercial break for all of the sponsors of the People's Podcast. Thank you all who are watching. If you'd like to donate, please cash app the People's Podcast. 1 second. And here we go. All right. There we go.
Television, and film editing. Please reach out to him if you need any of those services. Sister Miriam's ABC I Love Me, children's book and coloring book, and now Spanish book. All three available on Amazon.com. Sister Naima's Stay on Point Dance Academy, LLC. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country, right here in the studios of Atlanta, Georgia. Dr. Henry Carter's King Henry Turkey Legs, right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Brother Rashad Muhammad's COVID-19 Disinfected Cleaning Services, out of Chicago. Student Minister Sharif Muhammad's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ, available on adulsharif.com. And lastly, Brother Joshua Muhammad's book, Cleopatra, as well as No Father, No Excuse, both available on Amazon.
Perfect. All right. And we have one more sponsor, Sister Sherry Muhammad with Asiatic Minds. We thank you very much. Please enroll your children at AsiaticMinds.com. They teach STEM virtually to young kings and queens all around the world. They have an amazing staff and faculty, AsiaticMinds.com. Perfect. Right back to Coach Asad Muhammad. My sister Naima says, Assalamu alaikum, salam. And your father, Brother Maurice Muhammad, says, my boy. Excellent. It's always good to see the parents showing love. But we'll start right there with your parents. First of all, who are your parents, sir?
My parents are Mr. Maurice Muhammad and Dr. Fanshawn Muhammad.
Okay, yes, sir. And because you come from such esteemed parents, was that how did you handle the pressure of that?
Um, I mean, I didn't really. To me, of course, there is pressure of expectation of greatness, but being a football player, that's one thing that has taught me how to handle pressure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sometimes, and I can honestly say I folded under pressure at times, but for the most part, I think I do the best I can to make sure that my parents are proud of me, and I think that they are very proud of me. And I work very hard, and they've been nothing but great to me. I couldn't ask for a better set of parents. So,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Beautiful. And that's man. Okay, we're not getting emotional on people's podcasts. That's great, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's great. That's what we like to see. Shout out to your parents for
sure,
showing
sure.
you letting the love. Yes, sir. Okay, so I wanted to ask you, and then your mother said we are with the love, and that's beautiful. All right. I wanted to ask you about social media for the athletes. How do you handle them? We're trying to guide them through that because there was plenty of phone parties for me and all kind of like stuff that it was like, man, if somebody would have recorded that, they're like, Josh, you definitely not getting a scholarship. But you know what I'm saying? So how do you
Yeah.
handle trying to guide them through that?
I feel like now with for a lot of kids and now they've grown up in social media.
Mm.
So it's not new to them. Like a lot of kids, they know how to move within social media.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You know
sir.
what I mean? So when it first came out, you was just posting everything. But now we're 10, 15 years in, and it's just like, okay, I know not to post this. I know not to post that. But now like these kids, they're smart. They've become much smarter. Now, of course, there are a few.
Mm.
They always going. It's always going to be that one. It's always, regardless, wherever you are, it's always going to be that one that's going to make you sleep. That's going to make you stay up at night, and it's going to stress you out. It's always going to be that one. But social media, you know, it's important. It's extremely important, and especially within coaching and with players, it's important. It's how you relate to people. You know what I mean? Our Bama State Instagram, we post all the time, all day. You know what I mean? So social media is extremely important, especially in recruiting and things like that. But I feel like with the question you're asking, we look at that stuff, how you
Mm.
post, how you live. You know what I mean? What you glorify, what you listen to, all that kind of stuff. Like, because it's I hate to say it, but it's true. We're looking for things, looking for reasons not to recruit you.
Mm.
You
Mm.
know what I mean?
Mm.
Like if we see that, you posting your guns, you smoking your weed on Instagram all the time, it's very unlikely I'm going to recruit you because you recruit your problems.
Mm.
You
Mm.
know what I mean? You recruit your problems. That's one thing Coach Robinson says all the time. He said you recruit your problems. So and that's the thing about college. You know what I mean? These kids, their mama not signing you up to play here.
Mm.
We're picking you, we choosing you to play with us. So what that means, that comes with your baggage. You know what I mean? So, we look at that stuff and we do our best we can to kind of filter that stuff out. You know what I mean? But I think for the most part, our program, our athletes, they do a really, really good job of, keeping it professional, but at the same time being themselves.
Excellent. Well, you've given me different views. I'm sure many of us of Alabama State, and the fact that your name is Coach Asad Muhammad is I salute you for that alone. We salute you for that alone. But these young, um, of course, black men or different men of whatever different races. But I'm saying, as somebody who played football as a member of the Nation of Islam, coming up junior for Y, I would have given anything to get coached by Muhammad. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
That's like incredible. So
right.
what can people do who are watching, who may want to send their sons to visit you, or like how do they how can we get in contact
Um,
with Coach Asad Muhammad to be like, yo, this man is a great coach. Like, how can they
yeah.
contact you?
The best way, I mean, of course, I'm on all social medias. Facebook, Asad Muhammad. Instagram is at Asad Maurice.
Mm.
And my Twitter is Coach Asad 53. So for the most in all business stuff like that, all my football related and recruiting and all that, you come DM my Twitter. I promise you I will do the best I can to respond. We got a busy schedule right now. We're about to end the season. So, if I don't respond in a timely manner, I'm sorry. I promise you I will get in touch with you.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
And let's make sure we all, man. This is what I always dreamed about. As somebody who just an athlete, I always dreamed to see Muhammad's in all aspects of coaching and just being a part of it, from financial aid. I still haven't met that person yet. Scholarships, grants, every side
I
of
wish I
it.
met Muhammad in financial aid too. I promise you I did.
Yeah, I just wish we could have people like, hey, oh, I got you. You know what I'm saying? You know what it is. Yes, sir. I wanted to ask you your favorite album of all time.
Favorite album of all time.
Yes, sir.
I had to go College Dropout, Kanye West.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It's up there. So good. It's on the top. It's on the top. Yes, sir. Okay,
Yeah.
good. You can go in with College Dropout. Yes, sir. And what do you do to unwind when you're not dealing with the heavy schedule of coaching?
For the most part, watch football.
Okay.
But I get to watch it as a spectator. You know what I mean? I get to just sit back, sit down, relax, and just relax. You know what I mean? Just this football season is strenuous. You know what I mean? So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
anytime you get to just sit down and do nothing, I take complete advantage of it. So anytime, like we had a bye week a few weeks ago, and I literally just sat down and watched football all day, and I was so at peace. I promise you, I watched all my games, I watched all my teams, and then, just that's for the most part. I hang out with my friends, of course, when we get those chances. And for the most part, I just like to stay at home and just chill, be around the family, and just to kind of enjoy them.
Wonderful. Yes, sir. And on behalf of myself, my family, and the viewer and the audience of the People's Podcast, we thank you again. And I want to let you know that I really admire your family dynamic, your mother, your father, your sister. I see just, I know I've met your father, of course, but I haven't met the rest of your family, but I feel like I know you all because of posting on social media. So it's always good. And it's, it's amazing to see a father proud of his children and to see, I just saw he just posted something the other day or yesterday, matter of fact, if you had an award or something like that.
Yeah,
let us know about that.
This past Saturday, we played Grambling State in the Port City Classic, and it was the first annuals, and we beat them, and we got a chance to take a picture with the trophy, and that's what he had posted. Just proud of me, man. Just we've been winning right now, so it's always good to get it posted when you win it. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, well, I'm excited and look forward to meeting you, and we're rooting for you. What is the mascot of Alabama State? Like what?
We are the Alabama State Hornets. Yes, sir.
The Alabama State Hornets. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, amazing. Well, this has been a great interview. I look forward to putting this on YouTube. Thank you all for watching, and I look forward to meeting you, Coach Asad Muhammad.
Definitely.
I'm inspired by you and your family as well.
Thank you.
This is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off of the People's Podcast. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam.
Thank you all for watching, family.